So I've started at Kirk Newsholme as a trainee, and then now once qualified I've progressed to a senior accountant role. Yes, so basically I did business studies at A-levels, and I really enjoyed the finance side of it. That was most interested part for me. So yes, I started looking around what can I do, and then went to an apprenticeship evening with First Intuition, and then that was the kind of where I started digging more into the apprenticeship and accountancy, and then enjoyed it and liked the idea of it, so kind of just went for it. My biggest worry with university was just coming out of university after 3-4 years and then not having any hands-on experience, and then finding it difficult to find a role in actual job without any experience. So then apprenticeship, obviously you go into a job straight away, you learn, get the qualification, and you kind of go a secure job. So you're never in between after uni and looking for a job, which for me that was the kind of period I was worried about, and not being able to find a job. And then obviously also the experience you get while studying apprenticeship and seeing it in real life, I don't think you can get that from university in my personal opinion. Basically studying your exams and then you're seeing the theory behind stuff, and then you're actually doing it in practice at work, so you can really see the two linking together, which is a massive help, because I don't want to say you study less, but then when you see it at work, you might be subject which you don't have to study as much, because you obviously see it at work, so you do it on day-to-day basis. Yeah, so in terms of studying, I started, I think, like a few basic bookkeeping exams, which was a part of level 2, but it was literally just to get us kind of, starting, because I had no accounting background. So I started that for about 6 months, and then went on to the level 3 AAT. I think we did level 3 for about a year, and then, to be honest, I didn't think level 2 and level 3 AAT were very challenging. I think it was fairly straightforward. And then instead of going on a level 4 AAT, I went on to level 7 apprenticeship with ICAEW. And obviously is a big step up to do the ICAEW, but I think the start of it isn't too difficult. It just gets more progressive within your second and third year. So I think the whole study part took about 5 years from the beginning after A-levels to fully qualifying. So it was a massive benefit. Obviously there is, as well as exams, there's a lot of file keeping and a lot of development tasks that we have to write up and kind of monitor our progress at work, and it's not as straightforward as it sounds. So having that person, to be able to show you how to monitor the development tasks was a massive help. I think without one of the coaches, I would really struggle to kind of keep on top of my files and make sure it's all up to date, really. There's a lot of skills as you start from school. Maybe your professional language and the way you write emails and communication is not as it is now, when you can really draft emails to clients in a professional manner. So I think that progressed a lot through the apprenticeship. You attend skills days such as leadership and communication skills, where you have a full day with a tutor and doing different exercises to help you progress those skills. So after a full day, you can reflect how you're actually performing in work around those skills, and then it gives you a lot of good guides on how you can really improve, and you can spot in yourself the deficiencies that you have within those areas. So definitely through the apprenticeship, doing different skills, they did progress my communication, leadership, and other skills like this. Yeah, so obviously as you come out of A-levels and sixth form, people go off to university, some people go to apprenticeships. So I think the challenging part about being an apprentice, you kind of grow very quickly and you go to that 9 till 5 job every week, whereas your friends might be coming back from university having 2-3 months off, and through the week they'll be doing different activities, going out on nights out, but you can't do that because you're working. So in a way that might be the challenging part of it, that you kind of, from a 18, 19 years old, you're already in a 9 till 5 job. But I think as a career is a lot more beneficial than university. So I mean, if you want a nights out, then you go to uni. If you want a career, I think apprenticeship is the way forward. So I work for the business services team in management account side of things. So my main role is preparing the management accounts. However, it might seem like you do the same every day, but it isn't, because you're visiting clients, you prepare the work on site a lot of the time. then you take it back to the office, and yeah, you prepare the accounts in the office. Also do year-end accounts, so every limited company has a statutory requirement to obviously prepare year-end accounts, so that's part of the role that we do here. We do bookkeeping for different clients, and as well as submitting VAT returns. So the main thing I enjoy about the work is obviously working at different clients. So in a week I might be working, one day at one client, second day at a different client, and then come back to the office. So your week kind of really goes quickly because you do something different every day. So that's one of the main things that I find, exciting about this role. Also the social side of things, we do have regular nights out with the team, so it's really good environment really to work at. Yeah, so when you start as a trainee, you obviously do the really basics and kind of get the idea of the systems, what it's preparing, and you cannot get the full job by yourself because you don't really understand what you're doing. So you really start getting from the more senior people some work on their jobs. So you do, for example, profit and loss analysis, which is one of the easiest areas. You do different bank analysis, so it's all kind of at the basic level, and then as you get more understanding of those areas, then you get maybe a little bit more challenging areas and more difficult, and then you just build up your knowledge throughout the your apprenticeship and throughout the work here at your own pace, to then start off managing the job yourself. So I started doing really the basics analysis for a few months, whereas now after qualifying I'm kind of managing my own jobs, helping the other trainees, and visiting clients by myself. So I really enjoyed First Intuition, and I'm really glad I kind of went with First Intuition. Well, I got put in with First Intuition because the tutors were amazing, really explained, and I think it's the extra time as well they put for you. So I remember there were a few courses where I really struggled with certain areas, and then you can literally email the tutors, and they always find time for you to maybe even arrange a call. And I remember there were some Saturdays or Sundays before exams where I was struggling with subject, and then the tutors were making time to just explain those areas that you struggle with. So definitely there's that there's the course, but there's also that extra support which really matters, I think. At the start you will find it challenging. I think I found it really challenging from school, which you might be A-levels as well, where you have 3 periods. You're really not doing that many hours, whereas at work you might be starting at 8, finishing at 5, 4:30. So your evening gets a lot shorter, but you just have to get used to it. I think that's just how it is. And then study on the top of it is difficult as well, because you do have to have shorter evenings plus you study, so it can seem a bit overwhelming at the start, but I think mainly it's having the schedule and just sticking to it, and then you'll be fine. Yeah, so I do have time. I love doing sports, so my main 2 sports is Thai boxing and mountain biking. So after work I usually go to the gym, do Thai boxing and exercise that way, and then on the weekend one of my hobbies is mountain biking, going to different bike parks and location, and then riding my bike. Yeah, definitely. So I think for me I had a really good experience with First Intuition. I really enjoyed the whole process. If you look back at it, it's a long, I think, journey through the whole qualifying as an accountant. So, and I think First Intuition made it as easy as possible. So I really would recommend it to anyone.